Home, welcome to Matt's Rocks. Today, I'm going to fix these two blue agates. I'm going to take this quartz. Well, no, I'm not either. I'm going to cut this top off, grind this top down where this fracture. Let me show it on this other camera. There's a fracture there, right along there. And you can see it's kind of a ring. It's got, oh, stop it. It's got rust on this side. I was going to leave it before because I didn't think it was a very good looking rock to begin with all the fortification lines and stuff in it. This is the one that I left the quartz on because it had it looks like mica when you get it in the light. It looks like mica, but it's softer. So I know it's mica, it's not quartz. So I'm gonna just go ahead and grind it off and get this little, there's a little fracture here. You can see it looks like it goes around, looks like a chip. And there's another little bit of a chip right there. I'm going to get that off of there too. Maybe see if I can get down some better looking. This side don't look too bad, but it's just, doesn't look anything like the other ones. It doesn't have anything like this on it yet, which is little dendrites, white dendrites, inclusions, something. Eyes. And I'm also, while I'm at it, because those aren't going to take very long, I'm going to, let me wet this down. Oh, I can't believe, oh, I know why it's got oil. Well, it's like it's got oil on it. It's been sitting next to my rock saw, my oil saw. So this is petrified wood I found in New Mexico. And I'm just going to grind the outside of it away. Rather than tumble it, I'm just going to grind down a little bit of the outside and get it smoothed out a little bit. I don't want to lose any of those wood grains, but I want to get it where it's shiny. So I'm going to just use the 220 for that. This one here, I think, well, actually I know this one, this smaller one, I'll use the 80 grit. Probably the same with this one because I know this is pretty hard. I'm not sure about that. And actually, I think I'll do that first. Just because I'm curious just to see how it works out. I haven't decided whether I'm going to take all the chips and nicks out of this or exactly what I'm going to do yet. I got to see, make sure I'm not taking off any of the wood grain. It's mostly agate. All of this in here is agate, or chalcedony anyway. All this white. So it's very, very silicated. Some of it's weathered too, where it's darker than it should be. Okay, that's good enough for that. Now let's see how far I can get with this on the 220 grit. I'd like to only just work on this one side. Well, it's coming off pretty quick. Cool. Shut this off. I got to check. I've got my Vibrolap going on the second step, the 220 polish, or 220 grit. So I got to go check on it. It's only supposed to take a couple hours, hour to two. Okay, I went on ahead and did this whole stone over again because I had a little bit of rust on the back of this where it's all light colored. And I still didn't get quite all of the quartz off. I got two little pieces. But I ended up under that chip. There was more chips. So now I got chips, and I think it's just soft spots. I think it's common opal. I don't think it was actually a chip. I just think it was common opal. But it broke out. So now I've got all that white going around this way and this way, right there, and then just underneath it, coming off this way, is a Y-shaped chip. And I couldn't. I had to go back to the 80 grit, or I should say, I had to go to the 80 grit. I worked for 25 minutes on the 220, and still didn't get anywhere near that much off. These two were still huge when I took it back to the 280, and it took me about 25 minutes on the 280 to get that down to there. That's how hard that was, and that 280 is what was chipping out those soft spots. And I think that's common opal, and I'm going to have to leave it because I'm tired of working on it. Not going to get that much out of this stone anyway. Don't imagine. I don't think it's all that. Of course, it don't look too bad. I keep seeing the yellow in there. I keep seeing the watermark on my lens, or on my, there's a watermark saying the battery charge in the, it's running 100 this way and then 100 this way for the handle and the handle, which is the camera itself, and then there's an extra battery that goes on it. So there's a battery in the handle and the extra battery that goes on it. There's the other side. I just went on ahead and rounded off the edges because I got them flattened around the corners. You know, I had flat ledges on the corners. This one here came out pretty darn good. I only had to, well, I think it did. Let's see if I broke it. I shouldn't have, because I took the fracture out. Yeah, see, I just took off the top and I took it down about that far around the edge of the top, just to round it off a little more and taper it more this way and taper it more this way. And then I tried to cut a flat spot on the top, but you can't do it on a round wheel. You can try. I managed to get a spot that looks kind of like this instead of flat. And that's going this way on it. I don't know if you can see it there. Let's try it on this other camera. It's such a light blue that, and it's dull right now. It's not reflecting any light. You might not be able to see it. And then here's the There's a petrified wood. And it's still got fractures and, well, I shouldn't say fractures, I should say chips. And chips and valleys running with the grain that I didn't take out. Just adding to the authenticity. And you can see some of the end grain and some chips in the chalcedony. On both ends. There's the other end. Let's show it on this camera. But it looks pretty good as far as I'm concerned. You can tell it's wood. And it's really, really silicated wood, because look at all that agate in it, or chalcedony in it. But anyway, I'm ready to, I've got it all the way through the 280 grit. I had to kind of go back and forth between these two on this one to try to get that quartz out of there. So now I'm going to go ahead and start back on this, or now I'm going to start on the 600, and we'll go ahead and I'll film a little bit, and then we'll bring you back in when I get it done. Hopefully I can keep this one shorter than the other ones. Got grit on me from my fiber lap, and it's going to take more than 2 hours on it. I think. I may be wrong, but it doesn't look a whole lot different than it did when I put it on there. Maybe I needed weights. Either that or the weights that I had on it messed it up, one of the two. Or made it too rough. These are the ones that were only on there about 3.5 days. But that wasn't all day, every day. That was just till I got ready to go in and go to bed. Then I'd shut it off, fill it with enough water that it wouldn't dry out overnight with the heater going in here. Maybe I was holding it wrong. I was holding it flat instead of that on edge like that. These soft wheels, I need it flat so that my drill bit doesn't drift on me when I'm trying to start the hole. And I may go ahead and do the top of this one and put a bale in the top of it too, just for the heck of it, although I hate to grind into that nice looking chalcedony right there. Let's put it on this camera. Focus. I hope you can see that. I think you can. I think it seemed like it when I edited the last one. It was, I didn't think it was in focus because of looking through these 3.25 glasses. But they don't focus out that far. They'll only focus out about this far, and I'm about that much too far. And I just can't tell if it's focused or not. Okay, I'm back. Let me turn this down a little bit. I can't hear myself think. One of those loud songs. There's the first one. That's the one that had all the quartz on it. It's just got two little bitty pieces now, but it's got that fracture right in here. Well, it's a chip. I think some of that common opal in between around the eyes chipped out because it looks like an eye. I believe this one is either the same thing or a piece of mica because it does have some lines running through it. And it's got a little bit of a fracture coming up this way and around, but it's a surface fracture. And I think it's just a flaw in the layers. There's the other side of it. And the ends. And I'm looking over my glasses. I'm a little closer this time because I'm not sitting in front of the saw or the grinder. Just because I knew I needed to get a little closer. There's the second one. I cut off or ground down the top here. Get that fracture out. Get the rust out. There's the other side. It's kind of plain. And then there's the edges of it. I left this as flat as I could get it. I'm going to take it to the flat lap. I'm going to take it to the flat lap and grind this down flat and at a 90-degree angle to the top of the stone so that I can drill it. I'll probably do the same with this one. Probably grind the top of this one off too. And then here's the pet wood. I was thinking it was awful dark over there. That's because I got that other light shut off. Doesn't really look like it from here. This is that petrified wood. And then there's the ends. That side's all chalcedony. Got a lot of chalcedony in it. Okay, go back the other way, Debbie. Let's show that again a little closer up. Well, thank you. Come right back over towards me. Almost. My fingers are dry and the stones are slick. Now let me show them to you on the other camera with the light on. This one particularly because you can see the light coming through it. So that's quite a bit of light through. Or this one. This barely lets a little bit of light through. It's a little thicker. Not by very much, but it's also got more inclusions in it. And then this pet wood only lets it through in the areas where the chalcedony's at. You can see a little bit. Okay, let's do this. just let's do a little bit on the top. And a little bit through the bottom. I don't know how good that's showing up. Oh, no, it zoomed in all the way. Let me get my flashlight out and see if that does any better. I don't know how good that's showing up. I like this piece of petrified wood, though. My brother found this in New Mexico. I'm going to mail it down to him. I don't know if he'll carry it in his pocket, but he could do whatever he wants to with it. Well, I'm going to send it down to him. This one will be out Wednesday. So if you're not watching it on Wednesday, you're just a little bit late. No. I should be able to get it. It's 9 o'clock. I don't think I'm even going to try to edit it tonight because I'm still working my flat lap. I thought it says it's only supposed to take about an hour to 2 hours on the second grit, which I went with with the 220 grit. I forgot to get 400 grit. I know I read that thing, but when I was ordering grit, I completely forgot about the 400. Went straight to 600, and I already had a semi-gloss polish that I don't care for very much. It was a 1200 grit. I didn't care for it all that much. In the tumbler, I don't really need it in the tumbler. I could go straight from, well, on my vibratory tumbler, I could go, well, yeah, I did use it on the vibratory tumbler, but it wasn't the last polish. It wasn't the final polish and I got my instructions off my, the first tumbler I bought was the National Geographic tumbler. It was a 3.5 pound tub, about this big around, about that tall. And I didn't care for the polish, so I got me some aluminum oxide. I was watching Michigan Rocks, and he uses aluminum oxide for his last 2 polishes. Now, I'm not sure if I can't really tell much difference between the 600 grit I got and the 1200 grit. So I may have mislabeled the 1200 grit. It may just be 600 grit. But I don't have the boxes anymore because I put them in pretzel jars, plastic pretzel jars, gallon pretzel jars. Made it easier to get to rather than having to open it and pour it out of a bag, plastic bag. So, but anyway, this will be out Sunday, and I'm still going to take these to, when I take them to the flat lap, I'm going to do aluminum oxide on them also. But I'll do the grinding down first, because I don't have necessarily, I don't need to polish the top where I grind it down. It's better not to, because that'll give my bit a little bit better bite when I go to drill the holes to put the bales in. And the last time I tried wire wrapping bales, and then you wrap wire around it, I was using half round wire with the flat side end, or no, the flat side end. And then when you put them together, that makes it round on the bottom. But when you wrap the wire around it, I was using half round smaller wire, and when I wrapped the wire around it, I never could get that to look right. So I think I'm just going to buy some sterling silver ones that you can just glue in. And that way I don't have to worry about my big fingers trying to work that little bitty dinky wire. And got blisters, if it doesn't hurt. maybe the beginnings of another pressure wart. I got pressure warts from reading, holding my book in my left hand all the time. But anyway, that's the video. I want to thank y'all for watching, putting up with me. Now, hopefully I'll find something better for next time. I think I'm going to cut these down into preformed cabs, because I took the first one and tried grinding it down. That was going to be the video that came out Wednesday. But you can see all the gouges that I put in it, and that's with the 220 grit or 280 grit. And it takes forever to get them out of there with the 280 grit. And I didn't want to take it to the 220 grit and get V-shaped gouges, because these run V-shaped gouges and they're real deep. Where this one will run deep ones, fairly deep, but not as deep as this. Where this 280 will it'll be a rounded pit or rounded trough. Where this one's a tri-corner or a V-notch trough when you hit the edge of the pads. I need to get me a 8-inch with 3-inch wheels on it if I'm planning on doing anything this wide. So I'm going to go ahead and bite the bullet and cut these down some and make preform cabs out of it. I think I can get enough pattern on there for it to look good, and might not be a complete pattern, but it'll be fortification lines. So that's probably what I'll end up doing with it. I got my pressure pump and my lids to vacuum, or my vacuum pump. It's a brake line bleeder. But it fits the lids for mason jars. There's two sizes of jars, and there's two sizes of lids that I got that are for vacuum scanning, and it's got the right fittings that'll work on this pump. It's a hand pump. You only got to bring it down to 20 pound vacuum. Maybe then I think it goes up to 30. So either or. But what you do is, and I'm still waiting on my cactus juice, but it'll be here Wednesday. So I can go ahead and start stabilizing those. And I bought me a toaster oven today to put them in. Because it's a heat activated resin, so that way you can, when you get done with it, you can pour it back in the jug, in the gallon jug, and you don't have to worry about because you pull it all in, and then when you heat it, it hardens. So that way you don't have a big batch on the outside, big old thick gob of epoxy on the outside, or resin, epoxy resin. It's epoxy resin. I put in a search for resin or epoxy pressure sealing or a vacuum sealing stabilizer, and it wouldn't come up until I seen one on eBay, or no, not eBay, Amazon. And I got some cactus juice. It's just and then there's a little bottle of hardener that comes with it. And I don't know if you put the hardener in. I haven't got it yet, so I haven't been able to read the instructions. But I'll figure that out. I watched a video, and he didn't actually show the mixing, but he showed the little bottle. But I didn't quite catch, and I watched it a couple of times to try to catch what the mixture was and whether he was saving it with the hardener in it. Maybe the hardener doesn't activate until it's heated. I hope that's the case, because it was $100 for a gallon of cactus juice. That's a brand, I guess. It's just a resin fracture stabilizer, and so I'll be able to get those started here shortly. And those are all going to be preform cabs because they're all, I don't think I made a thick one. Yeah, I did. I made 3 thick ones, 2 thick ones, and the rest of them are 1/4 inch, 2 3/8, or 3/16, no, 4/16, yeah, 3/8, 2 3/8, and the rest of them are 1/4 inch. Oh, and I left one over here. What is it? It's another 1/4 inch. So I've got 2 that once I stabilize them, I might be able to make a better cab out of them. But those will come along when I'm ready for them. I don't know how long it's going to take. You got to leave them in the cactus juice for 3 days, so I'm going to have to figure out something for next time if I don't do these. I've got plenty of big agates in there that I don't want to cut down, but I don't want to do them on this, and then I still haven't figured out a good way to put weights on flat slabs that you put on there. A half of a geode usually weighs enough. Now I did weight down the thinner ones that I had because some of them were only like this thick total. It doesn't say what they needed to weigh, but it just said that on lighter ones you needed to put some weight on them to overcome the gravity, to put pressure on them to make them grind better. And that may be why it took so long to grind the ones I had. So, but anyway, that's the video. Thanks for watching, and you guys have a good day.